And we are live with Ultra Podcast Z.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, and as you may have noticed, there's no manual here. Which
No, I killed him.
Yeah, Josh killed him.
Yes, I was tired for too long of his... What was I tired of that he did?
Him being a boomer.
Him being a boomer, yeah. I was tired of him being a boomer. It's just, we've come to this point in time where, like, politics have just gone so bizarre. And if there's one thing we know about anybody who leans towards boomer is that they eventually say, when you get older, you see the conservative ways make more sense. And I should have known. He said, in my day, our weebs are better than, new weebs. And that's how I knew. That was like one of the easiest ways to tell. I'm like, bruh, we're already weebs making fun of weebs. And we acknowledge your trash taste. We have to know this is just a normal thing. It doesn't mean that my generation is better than your generation. Because when you have that, that's why you have all the toxic Star Wars fans, All of those people, just terrible. But, I couldn't let that happen. So, unfortunately, he had to go. But I heard that he's cursed, I don't know. I think he was cursed like Kenny or some shit. So I think he'll just be back next week.
Yeah. It's what happens when you get as old as he is. You just basically just keep coming back. So JD, the usual guy running the stream, the disembodied voice you might hear. Josh has already been on the show a couple times. Once again, thank you for joining us on such short notice.
Yes, a short notice that I created.
Yeah. So what have you been up to recently? Like watching, playing, reading?
Watching, I'd say Stranger Things. It's been a lot of it's been really good actually. I really enjoy the Vecna. The Vecna guy is very creepy, and I felt that Stranger Things has not been creepy since season 1. I mean, there's been some things that happen, but I haven't really felt startled. I felt like with season 2 and 3, this is like, we're kind of par for the course, but I really like Vecna. I honestly didn't know who would live or wouldn't live, and I think that's great.
Okay, yeah, just no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting to watch it with my sister.
It's good. I recommend it.
Mm-hmm. Been playing anything, like I asked? I mean, we're going to talk a lot about games coming up.
Oh, video games. Dang, you asked the wrong person. I'm an adult, man. I can't play video games like I normally would. And now I'm trying to inch myself to just see where's closer to the camera. Nope, it'll be this way. It'll be more this way. Sorry, I'm just trying to get back within the peripheral.
No,
but like,
it's okay.
In terms of video games that I've been playing has been just going through Virtual and Devil May Cry 5 again, and it's going pretty well. I was playing a lot of Genshin Impact until my computer died, so I was like, shoot. And the computer I'm on right now is actually the computer I use for photos, so I'm a little bummed out that I haven't been able to play as much Genshin. But this has allowed me to line things up better for a lot of games I've been meaning to get to. One of the games I'm going to be starting to stream soon is going to be the remastered version of The Last of Us. I have the game for the PS3. I never played it. I was gonna play it, and then it just went up on the PSN for like free. So I was like, okay, I can tell that I've waited long enough. So I can't wait to play that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to play that one either. That will be one that we'll be talking about later, and that why I'll be able to play it. Yeah, I've been playing. I just finished up Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. Finally, I think I've had it since the day it came out. But I just always had like something other big thing come up and just like absorb all my time, like when I was playing it. So it'd be like, oh, hey, Elden Ring came out, or hey, you just got into Genshin and now you're sinking hundreds of hours in your life farming for materials so you can have a triple crown Rosaria.
At least you can. It's more likely to do with like a character like Rosaria, since being a 4-star makes it a little less resources, so you have to get them a 5-star. But for 4 stars, she's hot. I really dig her design.
Thankfully, someone finally agrees with me. Yeah, watching it's
Wait,
basically.
finally?
I feel like I've never had
Excuse me?
someone like never met someone like on stream who agrees with that.
Well, I need to know why people are not. How can anime people? How can we be into anime and there's not just a whole bunch of people like Rosaria checks off so many things in general, but this really astounds me to hear. Like, what?
Well, I'm sure she's popular, just not as popular as like some of the other ones, like Eula, Ganyu, Beto, Lisa.
I'm trying to think because like I don't know, I feel that due to body structure, I think that Rosaria is like around there with Lisa and Eula
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
think they
like
have.
that.
I think they have the same frame, or at least like general model.
Yeah, so I'm just like I'm so surprised. It's like
Yeah,
I main Eula and I sometimes play Lisa every now and then. I just wish that Lisa was stronger. Um but yeah, no, like and even just the fighting style that Rosario has a very unique attacks. Or attack animations. Like I feel like there's more characters who have a more cookie cutter approach, but like I really like the way that that Rosaria fights and everything.
hmm
Just a good costume design, good all around. Like it's genuinely surprising to me hearing that you have not seen more people stan Rosaria,
hmm
and I just by all the means triple crown her. Like yeah, like that's
yeah,
dope.
yeah, and I love her English voice actress Elizabeth Maxwell.
No, dude, freaking Winter, freaking Psy from what's it called? Persona 5.
Yeah,
Just oh my gosh. Her
yeah,
voice is amazing.
and she's Urbosa and Riju in Age of Calamity. So I
Yes.
went from one game where she plays an elementally charged redhead warrior lady to another.
Oh man. And she is a redhead also, isn't she?
I think she's a dye job, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But yeah, okay. Yeah, anime for me, it's basically been my simulcast, getting caught up in like Shikimori, Science Fell in Love, Kaguya-sama, that kind of stuff. Still
Ooh,
need.
yeah.
Sorry, you said going somewhere or
Oh
reacting?
no, no, no. I'm not going somewhere. I was just agreeing with you.
hmm
I have not seen the newer season of Kaguya-sama yet.
And then I still need to get caught up in the new Love Live and Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Actually, because I've been watching the dub of the new season. It's
Oh, how's
really
that?
good. What?
Well,
Oh, the
really
dub is
good.
really yeah. I really like it. I think I first started watching it dubbed just because I was sick, and that's like the thing I do when I'm sick in bed and can't really get out. It's
Mhm.
just okay. Let's put on a season of anime and just watch all through it dubbed. So I did
Oh
that for
damn.
like Snow White with the red hair, both seasons over 2 days when I was just sick in bed. I think I tried to do that with like Maid Sama when I was sick for a bit, but I didn't realize just how many episodes there were.
It's a normal. Thankfully, Maid Sama was lucky in that it was made in the before times
hmm
when the usual amount of episodes was like 24 to 26 for a full
hmm
season.
I still think
Uh,
it's like I think it might have been 3 cores though, so it might be like 36.
Wait, there's 36? Shoot,
I
there's
feel like
probably
there's
episodes I
30
haven't
plus.
seen.
Let me check. Maybe I'm wrong. This
Because
is
I
very good
remember
content.
watching. Oh, sorry,
Sorry.
my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, it is 26. Never mind. For some reason, I thought it was 3.
Maybe it just felt like the episodes went. Either the episodes went by so fast, or somehow. And I'm pretty sure it was new in like 20. I think it was new in 2011. So I'm starting to think like, did they even still have YouTube in like increments back then or anything like that?
Uh, I'm trying to remember, but yeah. Actually, now that we've gotten through that, why don't we get to what we're kind of here to talk about? So yeah, this is the week when we would have had E3, but this year there's no E3, not even a digital event. But people are still making major video game announcements. Have you been following that, Josh?
Uh, I'm gonna be honest. The only thing I heard about was just Resident Evil 4. Like
Yeah.
that's the only thing I heard about. So I'm really surprised to see what the other announcements are. And I'm excited. Though I kind of feel like for Code Veronica probably needs that remake love more, but like a lot of people were saying, "No, it's the remake is going to be for Part 4 and everything." So we're getting it. I'm not arguing. I
Hmm.
just it's just Part 4 is already perfection, and the only thing I could imagine is they're going to make it look prettier. But I've heard some people say, in terms of gameplay wise, I heard somebody throw out, what if the Plagas thing became either more visual, which would be kind of dope, or it would become both visual and an actual game mechanic issue you'd have to deal with. To which I'm like, oh damn, I guess I could raise attention like back when the ink blocks in the first game were limited. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I can see that just rising the tension in the sense of just like what resource do I have to manage? And they're going off of the team that made the Part 2 remake
Yeah.
made that one. So I'm like that game was fun and scary. And so I know that Leon's supposed to be a little bit more actiony when he got to this point because he's like older than when he was then. So I'm
Yeah.
just surprised to see what they'll do. But I
Yeah. I
feel
believe
that
it's 6 years after the events of Raccoon City. I believe.
I remember that monologue really well from the game. So
Hmm.
I'm ecstatic to go back to 2005, canonically 2004, and yeah. So I'm excited. How do you feel about it? Have you heard any other buzz about the game?
Uh, I've seen like the brief bit of gameplay that got shown, and it looks like similar with the remakes of Part 2 and 3. They have adjusted it so that you can actually move and aim at the same time, which is
Oh,
definitely going to
okay.
change a bit about it. But I'm still very
Yeah.
excited. It is one of my top 5 games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if
Straight
Manuel's
up.
calling it the Skyrim of Resident Evil. It's really good. I've played it like so many times, and there's just so much like replayability to it. I just absolutely love that game.
I feel like there's some like Morrowind or Oblivion people that like took what you said to heart. Just be like, are you using Skyrim as the pinnacle? Like, what's it
Well,
called?
I think Manuel might be more insinuating that it's the one that got really popular, even though it isn't as good. He can correct me if I'm wrong.
It has Skyrim has so much content though. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I say, but some of the other big news that it's on everything too. Yeah, he's got that correct. Actually, the other big news that came out of Microsoft showing Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royale are all coming to PC and Xbox with Game Pass, and the ones that aren't already on PS5 will be there too.
I am. I like the decision minus like the choice for Persona 3 is interesting.
Hmm.
Um, because I think it's good that they're using the version that has the female protagonist
Hmm.
because it's really cool how on the PSP you got both the main campaign and you got a whole separate campaign with the female protagonist, but it wasn't like since I brought up Devil May Cry 5, it's not like we're just gonna insert female character to just go the exact same stuff. So like you can literally date the guys instead of dating the girls in that version, and it even comes with an alternative ending. So I dig it, and that's really cool. But I think it's weird to not include like the FES version,
Hmm.
since Persona 3 Fest was essentially it was essentially that upgrade that comes after the vanilla version. Um, and like the PSP version does not have any of the like in-game animations, and nor does it really have the character models. You're pretty much just playing through the game with just stills, and you're scrolling around and everything, which
Hmm.
for a PSP game, great. But when it feels different not being able to just walk around. Like I know it's just a hub world, but you could still walk around and do things in Persona 3 the same way you could do Persona 4 and Persona 5, though, it's pretty much just kind of the progenitor to both of those. So I think that part's a little weird. Like, I prefer that Fest would be good, but in terms of extra content, like the female protagonist content, I will absolutely take over the answer. The answer is like not fun. Like but like it's a canonical continuation of Persona 3, and it was bundled with in FES. It's bundled with the first game, so it's like I feel like that would technically be more content, but really it's just a repetitive, hard, like dungeon set they have to grind through, and the story itself I feel is a little regressive. So that's why I'm torn, because I felt like Fest should be the one they should use for Persona 3, but then that Fem MC content is so good. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, and sorry, one last thing about Resident Evil that I forgot.
Yeah.
The next gen upgrades for the second remake of 2 and 3 and 7 finally came out, which means I'm probably going to start playing the remake of Resident Evil 2 again and do Claire's route this time.
Dude, yes. Yes, do it, man. Just
Yeah.
so good. 2 is so good. Oh my gosh.
Actually, and speaking of like Persona 5 and stuff, Sony just giving me more reason not to buy a PlayStation with announcing that Spider-Man or Marvel's Spider-Man from
Sony's giving
Insomniac.
you a reason not to buy their PlayStation?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And The Last of Us Part 1 are both coming to PC, and those were like, okay, those were like the two, those are like that, Spider-Man, Persona, and Last of Us are probably like I need to get a PlayStation if I want to play these, and now that they're announcing they're coming to PC, it's like, okay, guess I don't need that anymore. There's about $500 I saved.
Is it Miles Morales that's going to get to PC, or is it just...
No, I think it's the Peter Parker one, the first one.
The Peter Parker one, okay, yeah. That's understandable with that one having been out for longer. I really would have lost my mind if it's just kind of like, wait up, they're still trying to sell PS5s in the midst of all... Like, technically, I don't know how I would see that decision, except for just a net good if Miles Morales ended up already being available on PC. But, like, at that point, I think it's just kind of like, whoa, I think you're selling some big apps before... but, I don't know, it's... Before I change subject, that's really cool, though. That's really cool for that to hit to PC, just because the games are good, and I guess it's just because out of the time that they were exclusive... like it's just good. Like it's just good.
Yeah.
Go and get that content, like straight up.
Yeah, and The Last of Us Part 1 is like a full-on remade version of it too. That's coming to the PS5, so I'm really excited to finally get to play that.
It's gonna be dope. I haven't played the games at all, so I'm glad to play this version, and then I'm gonna see how I can get my hands on Part 2 to continue. But yeah.
Yeah. Actually, in news, Manuel might wish he was here for. Team Ninja announced their next Souls-like game, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It's set in feudal China.
Oh. Huh. I'm not as familiar, but that's pretty good.
It was, I think, newly announced, so there's not much other than new Souls-like from Team Ninja, set in feudal China, which the first two parts at least sound good to me. The third one is definitely interesting, and I'm sure Manuel might be either getting ready to salivate at it or point out everything that he knows is incorrect about it.
As you do, naturally.
Moving on from that, I think all, or at least most of Riot Games games will be coming to Game Pass with special bonuses, like all champs unlocked in League, and that's just really exciting for me. Because I've been playing League since either right before it came out, it was technically still in beta, or right after it did, like my first year of college, and that was, like 12 years ago. I'm old.
Don't say that, because we're all like the same age and all that stuff, so don't do that. We're not old. We're just I don't know, what would we call that?
Mid-young. Late young.
Mid-young? We're mid? Are you saying we're mid? Is that what we are?
Yes.
That's funny. Oh, man. By the way, just checking on to see stream and everything is still going good. It could just be on my part. I saw the stream kind of like slow down or it stopped, so I just want to be sure everything's okay.
Seems to be good on my part.
Okay, good. Then
rate's good. Only had 15 drop frames.
Wulong is like demons running amok in Three Kingdoms era. Is what we got from Alavic 222.
Yeah, that's Manuel. Thank you, Manuel.
Hey, Manuel, woo!
Thank you for coming, even though you couldn't be on.
He looked it up, so he's ready.
Yeah,
to
I'm
go.
sure he looked it up. Like, as soon as I told him set in feudal China, I'm sure he just went to hear everything he want about it. Actually, and another piece of news about a game I've been waiting for so long. We finally saw new footage of Silk Song, the sequel to not Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight. And it'll hopefully be out within the next year and coming to Game Pass day one.
Nice. Wait, don't most games on Game Pass come out day one though?
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of them do. Sometimes it's a late game that gets added, but these were all like Microsoft press conference making like their big announcements of games that would be on Game Pass day one. And sometime within the next year, hopefully. Because I feel like I've been waiting forever to hear more on Silk Song, and I'm just really excited to play it.
That's ecstatic.
Like say, what else do I have on here? So yeah, like the other like big announcement of Microsoft was that they're working with Hideo Kojima on his next game, something he's always wanted to make. Nothing more than that, but I'm just kind of excited to see what he's got coming.
Are we finally getting the Silent Hills?
Maybe. I say, if Microsoft will bank it, I'm sure they'll let him make the Quiet Mountains or something.
Quiet Mountains.
Very close. That doesn't infringe on Konami copyright.
Get Guillermo del Toro behind it, because yeah. Street Fighter 6 though. I think there's been some announcements from Capcom there. I'm just reading what Manuel's putting up.
Yeah, I think they showed off Chun-Li, and the new design for the new art style. And along with announcing, I think the kind of like net code with rollback and stuff that they'll be using for online play, which I'm sure got a lot of people excited.
Yes, you gotta give the people what they want. You gotta give them the lack of input delay that one-to-one read design in which it can all work out. Yeah, I don't see why. I feel like that always has to come up nowadays. It's what slowed down Persona 4, Arena, and the Ultimax re-releases. But as soon as they said, yeah, we'll have the rollback netcode by summer, and then that's what kind of saved them. It was yeah, no, this is just something that you need to just have out the gate. If you have bad net code, especially in the year of our Lord and Savior 2022, you can't expect to retain an audience. You just, yeah.
Yeah, so I have not played much Street Fighter since 2. So I'm really excited. I've been meaning to pick up a 5, either from the sale on Steam or the Humble Bundle that's going on with a bunch of Capcom games right now.
No, it's choice. Absolutely. Can't believe you haven't played since 2. Part 3 is banger. Part 4 is the Resident Evil. Well, no, it's not the Resident Evil 4, but it was Part 4 got so many re-releases up until it was done with the Ultimate Arcade Edition.
I mean, so did 2. How many releases did 2 have?
Release, I think it had 7. That one definitely had some, but somewhat there was one that was also unofficial. The Rainbow one was just bonkers, a bonkers hack, and then that led to a Super Turbo. So yeah. Part 3 is weird because it's still the most advanced in the series. Yeah, no, it is. Well, it depends. They did do a good effort in 4. A lot of people were giving 4 kind of crap because just it was their switch to, it wasn't really just their switch to that 3D design, but rather they were pandering so hard to people who liked Part 2, because they essentially brought back the entire Part 2 roster, brought back alpha favorites, and you hardly got people from 3. So I want to say that 4 actually did have some very nice additions to the battle system. A lot of it was groundwork though from part 3. So yeah, like it's definitely like part 3 though is still really good, and the competitive scene is great. Um, but yeah, like I remember that a lot of people were salty when it first came out, and I was playing with a lot of people in college who ran PC mods of well, not mods but emulators of the third game, and yeah, no, it was I learned I learned. People told me you gonna learn today, and I learned how good it was, and then I learned how bad they changed certain characters into that one, and I was like, oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, actually, I mostly played 2 just because I had it on the virtual console on my Wii, and so I would
Mhm.
just play that. Like, I wasn't still no good at it, but I had fun.
Yeah, it's still fun.
Yeah,
It's like both a good nostalgia trip, and the versions that they made available for the Wii are pretty dope.
yeah. Actually, in other, I guess, video game adjacent news, Netflix had their Geeked Week, so they talked about like their games and their game related anime. Actually, and they're coming out with a
Hmm.
Queen's Gambit game. And it's not just chess.
What what
Ye-
exactly is it? Because Queen's Gambit is literally just chess.
Yeah, I think it's a chess with some amount of like I don't want to say visual novel stuff, but like some like story threading and puzzles in there, like just like chess puzzles that are
I
always
am
pretty
like,
cool.
what visual novel stuff are we getting? Are
Like,
you playing as I have to look it up if her name was Elizabeth. Let me see. Sorry, I need to look it up because I saw
yeah,
that last year and I forgot.
yeah, but like I think it's like a progression of being like just at the start of your like chess career up to becoming like a chess champion, grandmaster, that kind of stuff. But it was like, wow, you're actually making a game out of this. They announced games from other franchises that they've adapted to, and just I think within the last like day or two, they announced that they're also doing a Squid Game reality show, reality game show, because they apparently also missed the message.
uh uh oh my gosh, like Netflix, you lost money in the stock market with your very like grandpa desire of like how you were going to address your app going forward, and your content sometimes is so like there's so much extra stuff there that the quality gets dinged a lot in terms of what's actually popular versus what you'll just press on your top 10 at the point to have more people watching. And I'm like, you're gonna have extra money now to just give to contestants, let alone like I totally feel you, because it's like you're the point of the game is just simply that the work conditions that people are currently in are not really set up to help most people. If anything, it's actually just like it's like we appreciate you succeeding in spite all this massive difficulty you have to put yourself through, and realizing that it could come more than often not from the very people at the top who could literally do more with actually assisting with productive change within society versus, just still being that particular pillar that most people will seek to idolize.
Hmm.
But most people will never get there. As
Yeah.
it's really sad. But let alone most people will never get there. Most people will feel desperate to try to get to that position because their living conditions are such shit that people starve, they die, they're exploited. Um, and for everything that Netflix just went through recently, um, raising the price of their memberships,
Hmm.
wanting to limit just how often people use the passwords within a particular account, let alone with how you need to get their most expensive one to just simply have more accounts available at a time. It really feels like, come on, dudes. The cable television has moved to the internet. Our cable provider packages are now our streaming subscriptions. So I don't get it. This
Yeah,
jumped to
and
10 viewers.
yeah, and just to answer your question, Manuel, no, the people will not be shot. They will be allowed to live. They just won't get their like $4.56 million.
This actually reminds me of this movie that like came out back in Blockbuster time. Like this was a Blockbuster original based movie and shit like that, or their exclusives. It was a movie where I think it was Eva Mendes, and the point of it was a horrible movie too. Like I feel so bad for Eva Mendes. Like they've spent so much money to get her, and I think you could just feel her trying to save the entirety of the movie from the get-go. It's a movie where contestants will play Russian roulette. Roulette, you get money. But the premise is that Eva Mendes is trying to come up with a new show. And I can't tell if this came out or not during the writer's strike because the whole movie in of itself is told from like interview perspective. So there's like a camera that's on her, it's following her everywhere and all that stuff. Or I guess the found footage design, but it's really just trying to set up this whole like show. So it's literally Eva Mendes' character is playing somebody who's like, oh, I need to get this. I need to make a show. It needs to be awesome. I know. Let's have people like, play Russian roulette. People will totally watch people who are going to be like playing for money and, people will die on television and all this stuff. And it's funny because like the whole thing isn't even in the like backwards reality metaphor. It's done in reality. So it's like, no, we're not going to give you your show. You're stupid. And then as she's trying to make it happen, she's like, I need to find contestants. And all of her contestants are, and just in case if I need to say this, because I want to be respectful, they're all suicidal. So, I mean, sorry, I should say trigger warning and then
Content warning, yeah.
That.
Manuel will put one up when we post it on YouTube. Don't worry. I'll make him.
So yeah, it was no, they're like suicidal and they're trying to say she's trying to tell like one of her interns like we can't have suicidal people playing because like they want to die. Like we need to specifically have people who like are going to be motivated, who can make stories behind them, who we can really have engaged. It's pretty much just like you see there's literally just like not even a metaphor because they're not grounding it in an absurdist situation. It's literally in something where they feel like, oh no, your idea for a show is stupid. There is no way we would realistically do this. And then they try to push it through just so hard. And so it goes at a very snail's pace. The cinematography, because it's found footage, doesn't even do anything interesting because it's supposed to feel amateur. But there you go. Like that's just the thing. Like that's just simply the thing. And I feel like Netflix, why? Like we know you're not gonna kill anybody, but like how does this happen? Like this is like to franchise and do this is very much so capitalism for a show that's very anti-capitalism. It's like what the fuck?
Well, at least we got a season 2 out of it.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
actually, and
it's done. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Like I say, we need to fill time anyway. No, I was gonna say, but the actual game show version of Russian Roulette was actually pretty fun. Like where you just like all the people standing on the like things, then if it spun onto them, they would just fall down. That was always one I liked to watch on Game Show Network. Yeah, actually, they also showed off some game-related anime or animated series, I guess, coming from them. Their Dota series, I think it's Dragon's Blood, is getting a second season. They're also going to have a Dragon Age inspired one, and I'm really excited for that because I love Dragon Age Origins. I need to play through the rest of the series, but it's so good. Oh yeah, and sorry for that Eva Mendes movie. It's called, I think, Live or Live. I don't know which way it's supposed to be pronounced. Either one works.
Yeah, just like Blaze Blue and Bloss Blue. We don't know which is the correct way to pronounce it. It just is. English is the most dumbest put together language with way too many rules, and that's just the truth.
That's what we get from mashing like 20 languages together without like picking one as a big base.
You see, but then I will raise you one every other language in existence because
Hmm.
another thing that the US has a bad deal with is like when it compares to other places in the world, it's just kind of like, I'm sorry, like if the Chinese, like if China figured out a way to fit all of their characters onto a fucking keyboard, like I just, so many different versions of set dialogue, so many different characters, everything. And don't get me started. There's like so many different versions of Spanish in terms of just how many different people like pronounce things, use certain words, dialect, and jargon. And
Hmm.
Spanish is still handled way better than English.
See, I agree with that. Like, say, even if you do have like the Barcelonan accents and stuff, or like
Uh,
there's definitely regional differences. Like, my mother would like talk Spanish with some of her friends from work, but they were from like South America, so like
mhm,
slang would mean different things here. Like,
mhm.
was it chula for like good looking, or that is apparently closer to like prostitute in uh, some region of South America or Middle America. But I don't
Yeah.
remember which part. It's like, oh, well, it's a good thing I've never used that in Spanish around someone like that.
Yeah, just say guapo or bella or linda.
Yeah,
I think,
there are enough where I can get around that.
yeah. But
I
hey, at
meant it
that
as
point,
pretty manual, and you know it.
just said it. I'll clip it. He's gonna try and cancel you, just like we
We
try to
cancel
cancel him
him.
all the time, I guess.
Hmm. Don't worry, I can do that right now.
What got censored? Everyone wants to hear, and then it's just all of these things. Netflix. Did he actually say something? Or
Manual, no.
Daniel has been canceled 21 times this year. Thank you, Stream Elements. Ah,
Yeah, I
always.
got it keeping track.
Oh, I'm getting canceled today because I actually have a face on television. Well, you
And
know
you're in
what?
his spot. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's fine. Ah, man. But
I
yeah,
didn't realize that would
that
still work because I don't have trigger fire on right now.
speaking of which, like, hopefully, just hopefully content gets good on Netflix. Hopefully, like, this isn't the result of having to still adjust with any like loss in revenue or the stock thing going down, because the last thing we want is just more approval for some things that get people excited, and then to hear that they get canceled, like that in of itself, like that's a shame. That is a shame.
Yeah, Manuel, we talked about that already. Yeah. No spoilers for Stranger Things. I haven't seen it yet, Manuel.
Yeah. No spoilers.
Oh yeah, I just remembered another like few game things I wanted to talk about. Like at the Microsoft one, they also talked about Obsidian, a studio they acquired 3 years ago, I think. No, that was definitely before the pandemic, so it was at least three. But they have the game Grounded is finally coming out of early access after 2 years. It's like, which seems so much different from what they do because it's like I think it's supposed to be like a dungeon crawler, but your children have been shrunk and now you're fighting bugs.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, and now they're in the backyard trying to escape.
um yeah, that sounds like that'd be fun.
Yeah, actually, I'm probably going to try that sometime after it comes. But the other one they announced was Pentiment, which is like a 16th century narrative mystery adventure game.
Mhm.
And it's made to look like an illuminated manuscript, which is just like, oh, that's a really cool art style. Like, I got to see how that goes in motion.
Yeah, I'm very much intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to make sure those got out. I say, there was some other news this week too. Let me bring it back up on my end. Yeah, so apparently Justin Lin, who directed the last Fast and Furious movie, is now attached to direct a live-action One Punch Man.
Dude. Yeah, I can see it. I like the direction. The direction is very turn my brain off. This is stupid and, freaking pedal to the metal, high octane action. Yeah, I think that's the right attitude. Like, I'm not even being sarcastic. That is
Yeah,
absolutely the right attitude we need for One Punch Man, because that whole anime is 5 energy drinks directly to the colon and then just like letting yourself just like completely lose your head. Like just yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that in to some degree. It's definitely one kind of in there for the action and like the action comedic part of it. So I'm tentatively excited for this one, just like I'm kind of
Wait,
tentatively excited
hold
for
up.
Netflix's One Piece.
Hold
But
up. Is Vin Diesel going to be Saitama?
I don't know yet, but maybe. I mean, you need a big bald guy who can looks like he can destroy anything in one punch. It's either him or The Rock.
Oh man. You know what? No, I think no, I know who I want to be One Punch Man. It
Who's Saitama?
has to be Jim Halpert. It has to be Jim Halpert the from what's it called? The Office. Something something family. Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like Vin Diesel pretty much already has like he's made his persona. I'm not saying that he can't act. I just know that you go to Vin Diesel because of a very specific reason, and Saitama is a very like I'm a wage employee person who decided to become, as strong as effing possible. And there's just so much extra bounds and emotion that come out of him that I feel someone like Jim Halpert can probably have come out. And if not
Yeah.
Jim Halpert, then probably Ryan Reynolds. But I feel Ryan Reynolds is just so good at it in particular already that it can't help but get a little bit too meta. I feel like we need to have it equal parts grounded in reality, equal parts insanity. And we saw what Jim can do in the episode where they actually made a movie in the office. So I'm pretty sure Jim can do it.
Yeah, actually, and that is John Krasinski for the people who
John
don't
Krasinski. Yeah,
remember.
John Krasinski could get it. I feel he would make a great Saitama.
Yeah, I can definitely see that if they go like full American recast. I can definitely see him as like Saitama or the Saitama equivalent.
And so you're excited about One Piece?
Yeah,
Speaking of ones, yeah.
yeah, because like they started showing off parts of the set and like how they recreated the Baratier, and it is just like so big, and you see like the ship's actually on the water. All right, I believe they're actually on the water. It might just be on a lot, and I can't tell the difference because I'm blind.
Well,
But yeah, I'm One Piece is
you
one of
know
my
that they're gonna go on social media and start doing like there's no way they can't. They have to take advantage of that TikTok, Instagram, like and now the YouTube story things as well. They've got to do the Willerman together. It's just I don't see them not taking advantage of that way.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. The cast looks really good. I really like the guy who's playing Luffy has been doing a lot, and he just seems so excited and like so much like he can fit into that role.
Yeah.
Only thing I'm kind of tentative on is how the effects are going to work out. But since they're only covering like the first part, it probably won't be that effects heavy, other than maybe Luffy and Buggy, who have body stretching and body coming apart. But they've definitely done those before without as big a budget, so maybe.
I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Actually, yeah, and Manuel's talking about it. There was a bunch of convention news about having to do with like COVID protocols.
Oh yeah, no, it's been crazy. Like the AX for like a day said, yeah, we're gonna like get rid of our policy. So like you'll have to wear masks if you come, but we're not gonna check for vaccines and what's it called? Negative tests. Which I think this is what they were hoping for. They've always had terrible line situations on the first day and to an extent Saturdays, so they were probably thinking, what's a way that we can just, get through the line quicker? And so I think this is where they were hoping that people would like probably do a double think moment and be like, yeah, that makes total sense. Like the line's always terrible. Absolutely don't think about how the what's it called? Don't think about how they already made it so like they would mail out all the badges this year.
Hmm.
Like if you, so long as you bought it, I think before yesterday, I think you're guaranteed to get your badge in the mail. And I'm like, that's already a great way because then you don't have to deal with having to go to the registration area just for them to spit you out, and then you have to line up again just to get back in. Um, but that's just my theory, a
Hmm.
line theory. And what's it called? I'm pretty sure that they were I'm pretty sure that like I can't think of why. I cannot think of why anything other than that because it was just stupid. Everyone got upset, rightfully justified so. They changed their policy in like less than 24 hours. It was
Yeah,
so dumb. It was
yeah. I was
the
posting about it
absolute dumbest decision.
in the A to J Discord, and it's like, holy whiplash, Batman! Like, it became another convention that basically changed their COVID policy and then changed it back within a day.
Which is like I don't know. I felt like I really liked the ALA decision where they just said like, no, we're gonna like hard just make the vaccines like mandatory.
Hmm.
Um, and like I know that that's not gonna prevent the vaccine. I mean, not the vaccine. It's not gonna prevent COVID, but like I felt that that would be good because then at least the only people going to your convention are at least likely to live through it if if depending on when people get it. And
Hmm.
I felt that was a big brain move, but there were a lot of people that said that was very ableist. Um, and then they backpedaled, but I felt that when they backpedaled, it wasn't just simply like, "Hey guys, we're gonna backpedal because we felt that our maybe what we were thinking was a bit more ableist than we would have
Hmm.
thought." I stood for them making their policy harder, but I would definitely have been like, "Yeah, you know what? Okay, I can see why they would backpedal. I'm a little disappointed, but no loss." But instead, they said we backpedaled, but not because of ableism. They backpedaled because they got threats from people saying that we will harm and dox your staff if you do not change your policy. And I feel that terrorism is always the stupidest reason.
Yes, please don't do that to people,
Yeah, just
especially con staff who probably just have to go with it because there are people higher up than them making decisions. They probably had no say in it.
yeah. So like
Yeah, and
that's
yeah, obviously, ableism is going to be a thing with that because there are some people who are immunocompromised and can't get vaccinated, and that's why everyone
yeah.
else should do their part and get vaccinated, please. I
Hmm. Um, I even talked with a friend who said that they had that issue with their partner. And then other people who like if like let's say um like I had a sister who was pregnant. She did get fully vaccinated before the event, but like, like let's say that there's people who there was a mom who just didn't want to take the vaccine and was pregnant during the time that it would have become normally available. So then, you have to take the first dose and then you have to wait a month. And, that would be tough if you were one of those people who it was like, oh, I got my vaccine like either late January or, um, I mean, not late January, either early January or late December. And then there was not time to make it for the event
Mhm.
before going fully vaccinated. So, yeah, but for what Expo did, I have no clue what was behind their minds. The one thing that cons like ALA, Fanime, and Expo have to recognize is that they're like the really big or just like big party cons in California. Fanime is probably not as big as Anime Expo, but like it is the second biggest in California. It is definitely a big highlight for a long weekend. And yeah, Anime Expo though pretty much the industry capital of anime in North America. Anybody is going to want to go to this event, except for the voice actors who hate that they don't get good like uh, contracts still with the event. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's like people be flying in and stuff towards. So I mean, people fly into ALA and Fanime too. But like, it's like it's big. It's freaking 15. It's 115,000 people, 120,000 people as a result of the information from Anime Expo Light. So it's like,
Mhm.
no, man. Like this is an event where if it's big in any particular spot, it's gonna spread. gonna spread. There might be that incubation period. You could probably say that, oh, like it's not gonna spread nearly as far as you think it will. But like, fuck no, dude. Sorry, I cussed. It was just really a dumb
Oh,
decision.
like
It was,
yeah, like you're the first person to curse on the stream here.
yeah.
Yeah, I say, yeah, there are definitely lots of other like protocols that need to be in place too to help like stop the spread. But like the other thing that came up for the like, LA conventions that weekend, AVOX got delayed until next year.
Yeah, I was bummed out because they were also going to have that Persona 5 panel, which they did have a Persona anniversary panel kind of at the LA Comic Con, and like that was also kind of run by the AVOX because there's this big AVOX area just there at the what's it called, LA Comic Con. So it's like I kind of already know what was coming, but like we're getting the summer Persona and all that stuff. I mean, the game announcement, like that's dope. So I'm a bummed out that that didn't happen, but like there were plenty of voice actors who I'm pretty sure wanted to do AVOX that when they were looking at Anime Expo, like they were fucking curve stomping Anime Expo. They were like, just, are you kidding me? Your thoughts of wanting to do the no COVID, no mandate, like the no mandate of either having a negative result or being fully vaccinated. Just, yeah, no, it was it's crazy. And yeah, rest in peace. Well, it's not dead.
Yeah.
It'll be here in the spring. If they just didn't get a chance to duke it out with AX like they wanted to. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm bummed out it's not happening.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't have gone, but I am kind of bummed out too, just because if I did have someone there, I have a few things I'd want to get autographed by some of the people who so far aren't announced for Anime Expo now that that's been canceled.
I feel that AVOX would actually be wouldn't it be great for you guys? It's literally just a convention about all the voice actors. If there were any interviews that you guys wanted to do with any particular guest, couldn't you get that set up there more than anywhere?
You'd have to ask Manuel about that. I've been bugging him to get an interview that I want to do with someone, but he's just hasn't been able to get it confirmed yet, so I don't know any of the process. I'm not going to say that now. It's going to be a surprise.
It's gonna be a surprise. Wait, hold up. If it's gonna be, oh, so you're just talking
because I don't know if we're going to get it, so I don't want to put any like big hype on something that doesn't come to be.
Oh, I get you. I can see. It's just kind of like I don't want to overhype what I can't deliver. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people who they'll always say like, "Oh no, this is a goal, this is a dream, and I'm gonna get to it," and stuff like that for a million reasons. Interviews are wonky sometimes. But either way, I'll look forward to it. I hope that you get that interview. I thought it'd be really cool to check out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is someone I really want to talk to, so I'm going to pester Manuel until he gives me a definitive yes or no. I say, but other than that, yeah, I say, yes. I think I was at Anime Boston a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, they had very good COVID protocols on, or at least on making sure that you were vaccinated, had your negative test, kept your masks on, that kind of stuff. And I believe they had the whole place like with proper ventilation for ventilation and purification, which was nice. Like I say, and there I got to talk to, or got to meet and talk to friend of the channel, Kaylee Mills. They were a last minute guest addition because Keith Silverstein got COVID and had to drop out. Yeah,
no, I was so bummed out. It's tough. Erica Harlicker also got COVID recently. It sucks, but I'm glad that you got to speak with Katie Mills. I think I saw your guys' post on that. I was like, dude, super dope.
Yeah, it wasn't anything. I just like talked to her at her like signing table. Just said, hey, you don't really know me, but we met at Anime Expo like 4 years ago. Like I say, you beat me in a karaoke competition because we had to sing anime songs, but every word was rearranged into alphabetical order. And she got Catch You Catch Me from Cardcaptor Sakura, which is a whole lot easier than me having to sing Go Fighting Dreamers from Naruto.
Oh, dude, yes. No, you definitely got the harder song.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I chose to go second instead of pick first.
Yeah.
Which I should have done. I realized I was being stupid, but Kaylee went on and won that competition. I still think Molly won the second part of that competition and deserved a tiebreaker, but I'm not a judge.
So like, did you guys ask her out to dinner then or anything like that?
I was there by myself there. Like say, I wasn't representing A to J at Anime Boston. I was just there as a fan.
Oh, so why didn't you ask her out then?
Oh, she was there with her boyfriend or now fiance. Congratulations to them, by the way.
Yeah, I just would have been like, yo, let's all go out, have a awesome time, dinner. This is like super fun, and then
Yeah,
boom,
like
now you would be at their wedding. You would have been at their wedding, if you
well,
if you just would have
they
chose
haven't
this
gotten
path.
married yet, so there's still a chance for that. But no, it's like,
Oh,
hey,
oh
I
my.
know some people who know you. That didn't really seem like a good way to like invite myself into hanging out with the voice actor.
Uh, I don't
If
know.
if it were that easy, I would also be friends with Kira Buckland on Facebook by now.
I'm friends with Kira Buckland on Facebook.
I'm not. I just saw
I don't
that
know how
Emmanuel and another friend of mine are friends with Kira. I was like, wow, that seems cool.
Yeah, no.
No, I would no. I don't think there's any way I could have been the best man at that wedding, Emmanuel.
Man, I don't. I just.
Yeah.
I can understand though where you're coming from with like the situation. Since it normally always depends, but like I think it's just normally from like when you hang out with the voice actors. Most of the time, they're like very, very cool, very
Hmm.
down to earth, and like at most of the events, like since everybody's there to chill, they can get when everybody's like, oh, this person has chill vibes, and we're all just weebs and stuff like that. Um,
Sorry, I'm seeing
but
Emmanuel.
like what's going on with Daniel? She argues with me sometimes when I mention Dragon Ball Evolution. That's a lie. That is such a lie right there. Manuel,
No,
stop lying.
uh,
Stop lying.
Ma- Manuel is like the one guy on Earth who actually likes Dragon Ball Evolution. So I'm assuming Kira doesn't like it.
Oh no, it's not that. That sounds like a very Manuel thing. I'm just the conversation I believe that he's having with her. I don't believe happened because
Uh,
like Manuel is trying to sell me on the idea that he's arguing with Kira Buckland over the Dragon Ball Evolution. First off, if it is happening, then I will eat my words. But otherwise, I'm going to call it out and just say, Manuel, nobody is going to respond to you liking Dragon Ball Evolution. They're going to look at that and be like, this is worse than a dick pic. Why would you
yeah.
say?
So Kira, if you're watching this either live or on YouTube, please let us know if you and Manuel have ever argued over Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, but otherwise, like most of like just IRL and stuff like that. Most of the time, whenever there's stuff where I interact with Kira Buckland, most of the time it's just because I'll be seeing a post that normally comes up. She'll be saying that, oh, there's a role that I can talk about and everything's cool. So I want to say within the situation, I think with most of the voice actors that I've met before, it's probably been at events or there are some people that were like kind of like friends of friends kind of situation, and I
Hmm.
know sometimes you could also just friend them. I think like that's how I
Oh.
became friends with Christina V.
Hmm.
Because I literally didn't meet her until like years afterwards. But like sometimes it's just kind of like, we're kind of chill, and then most of the time, just because if people's like really good, if the feed and stuff goes back and forth,
Hmm.
it's just very normal.
Yeah. Like if I
Yeah.
ever get to meet them like more personally rather than like at an event where they're like signing and stuff and signing stuff I brought to them, I would
Yeah.
definitely like love to be friends with them and talk to them. But I might spend like 2 hours just raving about how much I love their performances in River City Girls.
No, it's a really good point, and I feel that like when talking with Kira Buckland, because like I really like, but it could just be that because I've conversed a lot more with some of the voice actors over time. It's just there's that part of you who like it's like you see that it's like, oh my gosh, like I idolize them because they do these roles that like are to characters I enjoy, and then afterwards you just learn that like, hey, we're all just like equally weebs, so then you can all just have a great time just supporting each other, being like, "Yo, that's really cool. Hope that you do really great at your next upcoming event. That's really cool
Mhm.
that you got that role." Like, Kira Buckland's a really big JoJo's fan, and like for her to get Jolene is just so freaking amazing. And so yeah, like you can totally get that. Like even
Yeah,
Patrick Sates will be down to just talk with people and stuff like that, especially over just anime and or other things.
Yeah, he did seem like a cool guy when I saw him at Anime Boston in, I think, 2017. Well, I was getting him to sign my One Piece poster since he voices Frankie. Actually, and
Nice.
I also took a selfie with him because I have a friend who just absolutely like loves Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And
Yeah.
so I like took that and said, I tried to send him, you thought I'd be taking a selfie with Jonathan Joestar, but it was with Dio.
Oh, excuse me.
The next day I should have done the same thing with Johnny Young Bosch and just reversed it. But I was not that smart at that time.
Oh man. No,
Yeah.
no, it's all good, and everybody's just really down for like the shenanigans. So like, I'm just here for like when you get that opportunity to like be able to be friends or hang out or just like shoot the shit or something like that. I have this friend named Grant. He did something so crazy hardcore. Like it was very like I don't know like I'm getting all vague. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
I was
okay.
with my friend Grant at a Long Beach Comic Con, and it's the last day. We're eating at a famous Dave's, and he turns around and he nudges me, and he says, "Hey, look! All of the guests are on that table." So it was a mix of comic book writers, a mix of some of the guests that had what's it called panels, and a couple of other artists from what's it called other less known artists from the alien stuff like that. And so my friend does this really crazy thing. He goes over to the waiter and he says, I'm going to cover all of their drinks. I will cover all of their drinks. And so we're just sitting at the table. I'm like, just holy shit, dude. Like, there's a table there of like 20 people. Like, that you're looking at a $200 bill minimum, at least alcohol, and let alone anything else. And he was like, yeah, no, I know. And so, waiter goes down. And like this table is literally just like we turn across, it's just next to us, kind of. It's just like right in front of us, long ass table. And so they go over literally to like this big guy at the end of the table, and the waiter goes like, "Hey, don't worry about your drinks. They have all been covered." Um, and it was like the guy's like outstanded, his face just like really just gets taken back. And he's, like you kind of math out like kind of like, oh, like really by how and stuff. And so they wave it down. And so it's like he waves it down to my friend Grant, and everybody just gives him like all these claps and all this stuff. And my friend was like really humble and stuff, and he was about to like we were about to take off and stuff, and it was like, dude, where are you going and stuff? And he was like, oh, we're gonna like take off. It's like, dude, no, go over there, like go over there and stuff like that. Like, dude, like that's really cool and stuff. And so like he goes down, gets a good handshake with everybody, and I was just like surprised. I was just kind of like, dude, you're really awesome. That's really cool. And I was just so surprised. I was like, that is some like Schindler level thing to do, and you're just gonna take off. No, dude, like everybody was like really happy. They were really ecstatic. They got a good talk with him, and like he's like my friend Grant is like really big with all the comic book people in town, and stuff like that. And it's like you don't have to do that necessarily. He literally did that because of him being like so. Like he has a lot of love and admiration for these guys. Like he
Mm-hmm.
was always somebody who I knew who loved comics in high school and everything. Um, but like very humble dude, and that's the same vibes I get with like when you're talking about everything, because I'm like, I've been there, everybody's there, we all just want to hang out with like the people that we idolize so
Mm-hmm.
that we can really get to like know them better, and then we can like just hill chill do things where we can show that love back for like the work that they've done. um and we all, there's that part of us that also wants to have like the intimacy from such a parasocial type of relationship where we just really want to like let them know like, hey, your work and stuff, like it matters to me, and I feel that it's made me a better person. I feel that um like there's so much within this moment where it's just so cool. And I'm sorry if I went like this whole like
Oh no,
extra thing
it's
like just going
good.
on.
Like I say, it's getting about time to wrap up, but that was really good. Like I say, yeah, I spent a lot of money at Kaylee's booth that time. I spent, I think, $140. Everything was done
Mhm.
because I got two prints, one River City Girls, one signed for me,
Ooh,
Sword Art
yes.
Online, one signed for my cousin because he's a big Sword Art Online fan. I got a copy of the Lord El Malloy II art book
Oh my
signed
gosh, dude.
because Kaylee's the voice of Gray. I was getting that signed for a friend of mine, and I was doing that because why is her name escape me right now? Oh, Lauren Landa was there, and
Nice.
she voices Luvia, and so I was just gonna get her autograph. But then, like last minute, they say, "Oh, hey, Kaylee Mills is gonna be here." It's like, thank you. I can one up him for getting I can one up my friend for getting me Justin Cook's autograph on my copy of Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. Jerry Jewell, I'm out on the hunt for your autograph. You're the only band member I need to sign it.
Dude, that's a good haul. That is such a good haul, good event, and everything. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, and I also got her to sign a limited edition like plastic standee from a set of Amelia and Hatsune Miku that I'd won in the auction like 10 minutes before that. I paid $200 for that and just ran straight to her autograph booth after it was over to get it signed.
That's good shit. That is good shit. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's a good event. You're at a good event. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man, it's called I finally got a job and it pays me money. I mean, I don't make the money some game developers do, but I do make money.
Oh man.
Yeah, so there's like one other like piece of news I want to talk before we call it a night. Let me actually bring up. Oh, there it is. Yeah, and that's a bit more on Spider-Man stuff. Just because there were some announcements.
Oh,
yeah.
So what's the word on the Spider-Man?
Yeah, so the director of Across the Spider-Verse, the Into the Spider-Verse sequel, has talked about how one of their villains is going to be obscure villain The Spot.
Wow. That's that's a little bit of nostalgia for all the people who saw the animated show.
Yeah, I was like I saw the headline saying, yeah, this is going to be a deep cut. It's like, wait, I know that guy. That guy was from the animated series. I was like, oh yeah, he's got like all the extra dimensional portals. Oh yeah, he makes sense as a Spider-Verse villain.
It's funny enough, actually one of the few episodes in the animated cartoon that has one of the 3 punches that were actually done by Spider-Man. And that kind of blew me away, where it was like he's only thrown or landed only 3 punches in the whole animated series. And one of them is specifically against the Spot.
Yeah, actually, like hearing that as like 20 years after watching, I was like, I could have sworn he punched. No, oh yeah, he's just using his webbing. Yeah, it's like in Homecoming too. I don't think he throws a punch against a human opponent because he knows that if he does that, he'll basically kill them.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm what's it called? I'm excited even more.
Yeah.
Like the first Spider-Verse movie is really chill, really amazing. And I think there's like a lot of people who consider that to be the best Spider-Man currently. Which I know that there's a lot of people who, like, when it comes to Spider-Man movies, I know that for the longest time it was Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And then people were arguing just in terms like if as a better movie in general, if like Amazing Spider-Man, at least that first one for Andrew Garfield, if like just from a cinematic standpoint, if that was like a better movie. And then, you know, everybody was hopped on Holland, but they didn't know if they felt like that was just a better movie than what had come out, or just simply that, you know, it's playing things safe, it's really enjoyable, it's definitely got the emotions rolling with, you know, seeing a younger Peter Parker in Tom Holland. I mean, still over 20, but like, you know, still, you know, it was.
Yeah, he was only like 19 the first time he was playing the role. But okay. Actually, speaking of Tom Holland as Spider-Man, the other piece of news is that Spider-Man No Way Home is apparently coming back to theaters in September with extra scenes.
What? Yeah. Wait,
I'm assuming Sony.
Scenes.
Yeah, I'm assuming Sony just needs like something to prop up their profits and said, okay, let's put Spider-Man back on screen.
So are they gonna call it 2.1? Because, you know, back in the day they were doing that shit with both Spider-Man and Daredevil. Like they did that where they released like slightly altered or extended cut versions of both those movies, And so like I'm surprised they're going back to theaters with doing this. So that's just like, are you gonna do 2.1? Because like Spider-Man, I love Spider-Man 2. I know that movie to death so much that when I started seeing the Spider-Man 2.1 that eventually they started showing on FX, I was like, wow, these scenes are like better cut together, and like there's some extra like parts and stuff that they add to these moments. Like I also like how the pizza time broom segment is like twice as long of him like moving the brooms and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
sometimes you
just
gotta
like,
cut it for TV.
what happened?
I said sometimes you gotta make a new cut for TV too.
Yeah, it's I'm just surprised. I had no clue that they were doing this. So
Yeah, I think it was just announced today, and
have they
kind of like what Manuel was saying, it definitely makes more sense to bring in Morbius back.
that was dumb. Bringing Morbius back was dumb. They just
No, Sony. Look, we were all busy that weekend. Just put it out next weekend, and we'll all go see it. Okay?
No, don't do that, Sony. Sony, don't, because then you're gonna say that this is why you don't have more money to release more PS5s, because you put resources in more in time when you should have known better. Should have known that it was crap the first time. No, it's not like Scott Pilgrim. No, it's not like Clerks, and no, it's not like what's it called? What else had a cult following?
Office Space, The Room, Office Space.
Office Space, yeah, they should have known. They should have known better. Those became popular without having to go back to the theaters, and they made bank on their DVD sales later after the fact. They cannot play that. They got played by the freaking people who literally said Morbius sucks, and they memed it, and that's what they get. That's what they get.
Yeah. Okay.
Next weekend, Sony. We are all busy this one. But yeah, no. What did they say? Like, what did they tease? What kind of extra scenes we're going to be looking at?
No, I didn't see anything, but I'm assuming it's going to be probably it's either more time with the villains or with. Okay, it's been like 6 months now. I think I can spoil it. The other two Peter Parkers.
You know, that is true. I can see that happening. Some more time with Peter and
Peter and other
yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
Manuel, just put the spoiler warning on YouTube. It was like the biggest movie of last year. If you haven't seen it already,
I feel that there's probably some.
Seriously, Manuel?
Haven't seen it. He hasn't seen No Way Home. He hasn't seen No Way Home.
Wow. Okay, Manuel.
No, I'm
okay, good. He's joking. Okay,
I thought, like, statistically speaking, I don't think that's a factual statement.
Okay, so yeah, let's start wrapping up. Actually, once again, thanks for filling on such short notice. This has been a really fun episode.
Yeah, no, this was really cool. JD, you're an awesome host.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I just mostly just let you speak and went with it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so for this week, there's no A to J Adventures tomorrow, but we are doing Drink Chalk Roll on Friday.
Woot.
Yeah, actually, Manuel, do you know who's DMing this week? Is it Warren again, or is it Pleiades? And actually, yeah, they've apparently got 3 campaigns now, so I'm just really worried about them just like going too slowly and losing any kind of momentum. Thank you, Soup or Tiffany. Yeah, this was a fun stream, I'd say, but we should be back next week talking about more stuff here at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. I'd say, and I'd like to give a shout out to our patrons, Ed and Kenneth. Thank you very much for your support, allowing us to bring content like this to you, along with an ad-free website. I'd say, please, if you can, support us. Any dollar helps out. I'd say, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, follow us here on Twitch. Just anywhere you can find us.
Show A to J love. Donate to them. You get awesome content, awesome stuff set up by JD. Donate, so that way, you know, if you donate, you'll finally get that interview, hopefully, that JD has always wanted, because I don't know why, for whatever reason, that Manuel says no, but
it's not him saying no, it's more... Yeah, it's not him saying no, it's more that he just needs to contact people and I guess he's not getting definitive answers yet. But you will get more like reviews as long as Manuel keeps giving me movies to review. Like check out mine of Fortune Favors Lady Nikuko, the most recent one, or my first one of the new Prince of Tennis movie. All right. Thank you very much, Josh. Hope to have you back again sometime soon. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, Tiffany. Bye.
There we go.